Talent Esports, who are awaiting the victor in a BO3 that'll be taking place right after this. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We are about to get started with the third and final
Before
match.
we get started, Richie, I need to highlight something important. So Void Spirit started with boots. He went to the secret shop, he sold his boots, and he used the boots to get to the lane faster so he could Quelling Blade the tree and get the sentry
Check out
off.
this top ward.
Yeah, we mentioned that this played a huge role in yesterday's game when he was doing the 1v2 lane when his banner was jungling and they couldn't get it dewarded. So this could come into play once more, you know. Like if Boom doesn't find the ward and they couldn't control the creep wave and the Void Spirit somehow gets too much out of the lane, this could become a problem. So going through the hero facets, Witch Doctor has malpractice. We've seen like kind of a mix of both, right? Between the Cleft Death and malpractice. I mean, Death Prophet is mainly just the Spirit Collector. Void Spirit also usually is Sanctuary, and we have the Plague Carrier, the Jungling Venom Bat. I mean, carry Tinies just go for the Insurmountable. And on the Boom
interesting
side,
one here is the Phoenix Hotspot.
Hotspot, I think, is good into DP and Tiny. If you're playing towards the Sunray and you're trying to kill tanky heroes, I think Sunray with Hotspot is the way to go, yeah. But it does leave you a little bit more vulnerable in the lane because with the Dying Light, you're a lot stronger in terms of trading in the lane.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's what I was looking at here.
You know probably why they did this is they are expecting a jungling Venom, so there'll be no lane. So why do I need the facet that helps me in the lane when there is no lane? So he decides to go for, probably that's why he decides to go for the greedier facet, which also has a lot of purpose this game.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble because you can't see facets, of course, like we can before you actually see heroes in the game.
Yeah, but you do know that they're probably going to do the Venom jungle because it's the exact same lineup with the Venom, Witch Doctor, and the Void Spirit.
Yeah, it is. They have the same supporting staff here. We still hit this pause. I mean, and again, very, very key to this matchup. But we're not just, boring support players. This block is really instrumental to how well that lane actually went. Tino ended up getting 11 kills in that game, and a lot of it was because of this ward. And I did want to point out, Winter, today they actually sneak the ward here. Yesterday, I can't draw on the map when it's paused. Yesterday, they put it just above, and actually, it was just kind of a mistake from their opponents. They didn't see it. It was just like the standard spot above the camp, which we can't highlight because we're paused. Yeah, up there, right? Exactly, yeah. And unfortunately, the support just missed it. So today, it's much more well hidden. Much better hidden.
Yeah,
and,
but you should already be ready for this sentry placement. I think, personally, even in pubs, a lot of players are already starting to use it quite frequently. So I think usually, I don't want to say the players don't know, but I would assume they will know, about this spot and just make sure you deward it. But one thing to note,
blocking the full camps of himself.
He's blocking the full camps here. He knows that the Venom might use these camps. He's going to use these camps. Yeah, because usually how you would guess is you would see that the enemy has Quelling Blade. When the enemy has Quelling Blade, you're going to expect some weird-ass sentry placements, I think he's going to find it.
Oh, he needs to cut another one.
Oh, he needs to cut one more.
Oh, no, Tino.
No.
Oh,
he cut the wrong. No, he cut the wrong one. He needs to cut the middle, the red one.
This one here.
No. This is bad.
Oh, no.
Okay, I am wrong about the players knowing about this. He doesn't know.
I think he'll get it eventually. Let's see how Shanks reacts. I think he's going to be sad in 10 seconds. He's getting everyone ready, dude. It's like he's hosting a birthday party for him and all his Plague Wards, and then no one's going to show up. I think he's going to be really sad. Let's see. I want to see his camera here. He's getting ready. He's getting ready. Nothing spawns.
Oh, he's calm. He's calm.
He's pretty calm.
I'm sure he's saying some colorful words in his comms right now.
Yeah, something about putting a tank somewhere, maybe? I'm not sure.
Okay, both sides not finding the wards, and so I guess that's even somewhat, but worse for the Venom. I mean, Tino's kind of still getting a good amount of XP. He's level 2 now, so this is great. This is fantastic for him. And mid lane DP into the Kanka should be also another lane which is favorable, very favorable for DP. But so far in terms of CS, Kanka is in the lead, 10-3 against the 5-1 of DP. So yeah, Kanka is doing extremely well, But I would expect DP to kind of pull ahead once he hits level 3.
Exactly. Getting bullied up top lane. Okay, Dissemblate is gonna get him out of there. low
Okay,
on HP.
he rewards the sentry on Janelle, finds the sentry now.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good work. Yeah, I think for some of those, you can actually scout it from the high ground as well. If you're having trouble with some wards, if you cut down these trees on the high ground and just stand there, you'll get vision usually. Obviously, you got to be a ranged hero, but you know.
But Veno doesn't have gold to spend, you know, to reward there, you know. So he's just doing the triangle camps, you know. It's gonna be a lot slower because you can't clear the ancients. I think with the early wards, with the level wards, it takes too long. You need level 2 wards. So I think this is going to greatly slow down his game, you know. So I think this is a very, very smart move by teams on the Chaos Knight to make the track over to block both of the camps.
Yeah, I mean,
he was already farming ancients at minute 3, I remember yesterday. Today he can't.
Yeah, he preferred the side camps, but now he's set up here. Oh no, John, well, he's blocked his camp again.
Oh my God.
Shanks.
Oh, level 1 wards is gonna take a long time to clear the ancients, but he's gonna have to make do with what he has right now. And
yeah, really good job shutting him down.
How is the Tiny doing? Tiny is 15 and 8. Wait, what? The Darkseer has 1 CS?
Yeah, he's been kind of getting bodied out of this lane.
He has 1 CS? What?
Level 2. They finally... So the problem was that they were having was I think they got a good toss back onto jabs, and they nearly killed him. So he needed to TP away, and then he just walked slowly back to lane.
Okay.
Tim's tried to skip a wave, but then the Witch Doctor...
Veno wards and the camp blocking, you know, I didn't notice that he actually had to walk back.
CML doing a lot of work down here bottom, though. That's the point I'm trying to make.
No, this is real bad news. Super bad news, you know, if your Darkseer has 4 last hits at 4 minutes. So, Boom is losing bot, they are winning top, and they are winning mid. So I guess they are still overall kind of happy about this because the jungling Veno is not exactly having a great start.
No, he is not. He's finally forced to deward at least his hard camp here in the triangle. But like you said, I mean, he didn't really do anything for the first 70 seconds of the game, sadly for him. And of course, Jackie, he's going to be the kind of hero that can really take advantage of this, right? So much base damage here, up to 12 denies. I don't remember what Execration laned into last time, but I feel like it was a little bit more of a difficult lane for the carry to deny everything. Tino's having a bit of a harder time. You can tell because Jackie's up to level 4, actually.
No, at least as long as the Void Spirit is getting his own levels, he is going to be fine. Yeah, with this. I think it was a Doom, you know? Because I remember they were playing into tech-free gaming. It was a Doom plus something, you know. I don't remember the other hero.
You're right about
But yeah,
that.
I think overall, if you are Execration, you're kind of happy with what Tino is getting from this lane. You know, it's 1v2. You don't really expect to get up too much. Anything better than this is already quite difficult to achieve. He's going to die at minute 5, but this is eventually going to happen. But I don't think it is too much of a bad news, you know, for Execration, given how Veno's he's still level 5, you know, at 5.5 minutes, you know. He was given he was level 6 at 5, so he's like kind of like 1 level behind compared to his usual speed. But still, you know, I think this is still looking pretty solid for Execration overall.
That's right. Now he's getting ready to rotate mid lane, which Armel also level 5. He's going to get level 6 here, though, from the range.
Yeah, he's getting ready for the DP to pop 6.
But in they go. Pre-level 6. If they can get this Maledict down, it is level 2. They might be able to get him. They need a little bit more slows, and I think he's going to be a bit too speedy. Blood Grenade really hoping, really reaching for it. I mean, it's a lot of damage, and they will delay this level 6. He has level 6 and a shield rune. Hold on. This is some action here.
Dead. This tower looks dead, my friend. They have a glyph if they need to use glyph.
For the wagon, yeah. Fire Spirit's thrown onto the wagon to try and neutralize this push. And the Dire glyph is going to get used first.
Yeah, but the tower took so much damage. It's definitely going to go down the next Exo. Can he actually finish it up now with the current Exo? Probably not, yeah. It's going to be close, but probably not. And Jebs on the Darkseer has kind of recovered a little bit, but he's still in a pretty bad spot and he's going to die here. Yeah, he's dead.
Maledict, no way out of that
Wisdom, Shrine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Execration getting away with murder here, double shrines.
Yeah, maybe even the kill onto Tim's as well. He's got those those raindrops to be a little bit extra tanky. Wow, the bounce is there. The second bounce there onto Tim's. No luck there for him on the CK. He's going to go down for the kill onto Palos.
And then things are looking real bad for Boom right now. I mean, on the bright side, Morphling is free farming top. He's the one that is doing really well comparing to his teammates. So he's going to be under a lot of pressure, you know, to do a lot of work in this game. I mean, Jabs is like totally, he's a support right now. Even the jungling Veno and even the off-lane Void Spirit that's 1v2 is richer than the Darkseer.
Yeah, that lane's really gone quite poorly for him. He's into the jungle, like we talk about. This is a hero that can jungle now, and he's got this chip vest with the mystical mana regeneration.
You know what? He probably has more net worth than this, right? If he started the game off with jungle.
Probably. Should have just, you know, mirrored Shanks, honestly, or something.
Yeah,
Mid tower goes down, by the way. There was no exo used for that. Next one up in 15, and the 8-minute power rune's also into Lewis's bottle. It's an invis.
Yeah, they boom side, they have to find a move with the Conquer. I think soon, you know. They need to try to destabilize this Execration lane dominance, you know. They have to try to get a kill somewhere. But the heroes are very tanky, you know. DP, Tiny, they're both very, very difficult to kill. Not to mention the Void Spirit, you know, he's so mobile. So where can they go here? That's the question, you know. Maybe they have to try to get the support so the supports can't pressure the cause. Because the Witch Doctor and Veno are causing a lot of problems.
Exo's committed for this push top lane. So Tim's behind the tower, maybe trying to do some harass with the Ion Shell applied. Will find life very difficult here.
Yeah, Lewis is meanwhile just destroying and opening up the map here, you know. I mean, this is looking so good, you know, for Execration. They are on the right track right now this game to making sure that they proceed to the next round, you know. Boom, they need to react, they need to do something quickly, you know. They have to try to stop this train, you know. It's only just a 1k to 2k lead right now for Execration. It's not like a super huge lead, but the momentum-wise is definitely firmly on Execration side, you know, after taking down 2 towers before minute 10.
2 towers, basically completely shutting down Jabs despite being in a 2 versus 2 lane. Tino coming out pretty well, and Shanks better than both offlaners, as he did yesterday. He will do so today again, and he's got that Noxious Plague to gank with. 10-minute rune, 3rd rune consecutively now for Lewis. It's been a shield, it was an invis, and now a haste rune. This one, the most lethal of all 3, Winter.
Yeah, I think. And now, I mean, and now pretty much Execration has at least 60-70% of the map to farm, you know, after they killed all the tier 1 towers already. So this is going to be a challenge, you know, for Boom to try to break out of this stranglehold, you know. They need to smoke. They're going to smoke right now with Conquer and the Phoenix. They have to find a pick-off right now. It doesn't matter who are they going to run into. Any kill is worth a lot at the moment.
They do have a boat, and they have an X. Shanks, he's going to be initiated on. Okay, he's turning with that Noxious Plague. Tino taking this opportunity to make the jump back on in, but Shanks lives Winter on less than 20 HP. He doesn't go down. Oh, Mel trying to TP away. He will be allowed to leave, so it's a swing and a miss from Boom. Oh no, but they will lose a kill.
Oh boy.
Gone well, victim to the haste rune of Lewis. No outrunning that one.
I mean, that was a level 1 Witch Doctor heal that kind of kept the Veno alive a little bit, you know. He healed him for...
And the Cornucopia.
Yeah,
5 HP regen.
He healed him for maybe like 20, 30 HP, but that was just enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Seriously, everything coming in together there. underneath the tower as well for that little bit of bonus armor and HP regen. I mean,
that was very,
close
very
there for
unfortunate for Boom. They couldn't get the kill there. That was so huge. Now the lead goes up to 3k, and things are going to feel claustrophobic, you know, for Boom right now. They're gonna feel the stress, you know, of the map being small. Execrattion making a move this time with the Witch Doctor and the Void Spirit. Witch Doctor has his ulti up.
This, I think they can kill him. And you know what? My God, they're right. With this Death Ward, it's pretty good damage here. This Maledict into the level 2 Sunray heal. I'm not sure if it's enough, Winter. I think he's dead. For the last one.
He's dead. Oh my God.
Oh.
Level 4 Maledict with more practice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like this build a lot. I really commend CML for his flexibility on this Witch Doctor build. I think we've also seen him go for more points in Voodoo Restoration at times, right?
Yeah, he leaves his stun at level 1. I think that's probably the way to go with this hero, because they nerf the...
Oh my God. Oh my God, there's an Orchid. The Aether Remnant perfectly connecting. Jackie, hey, I mean, he's tanky. He's got a lot of strength to morph into.
Yeah, he's going to survive.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the build right now is, I think, to just leave the stun at level 1, because they nerfed the subsequent points in the paralyzing cast from Witch Doctor, but they made the level 1 point really good. So I think right now, this is probably the best build, to keep it at level 1, and then you just max your heal. And meanwhile, bot lane, another catch.
Smart, this would be a big kill on the Palos, and they will eventually get the job done, and a lot of magic damage. Another quick Maledict, though. Tim's doing his best to fight through this, but he is only a support CK. That was Supernova committed as well. Zhao is not going to really change the outcome of that fight.
Still,
at least it's good to see he's got level 6.
Boom's going to be happy. Sure, you traded your Supernova, but it was worth it. Now, on the other hand, the 40-minute Wisdom Shrines, they don't have the egg to kind of contest it, you know, so they're probably going to lose it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, looks that way. You can see Shanks on the jungle Venno coming out to claim this territory. Instead, Boom, they will try and smoke to this other side of the map. It may be promising here. Lewis is here alone, but he's got an Arcane Rune, Winter. It's going to have a lot of charges. Oh, no, and a regen. All right, well, they're going to kick things off here. Let's see if they can get the job done. Armel does not have a boat, but he does have a Blade Mail. Lewis, will he be able to live through this? He's going to save the regen rune for now, but did commit 2 Spirit Siphons there. Nice catch by Tim.
He doesn't die, though. If he could react initially with the regen rune, he might be able to tank through everything and switch his traits to strength. That's a chance. I think he could survive, but decides not to do anything. He wants to save it.
Right. Long stun there, you know. There's a little bit of randomness on this casino night, right? The Chaos Bolt, I think, was a long stun. It looked at least 2 seconds to me. That makes a big difference here. Yeah, right? Looked like a pretty long stun. Perfectly timed with the Torrent.
Yeah, that was a much-needed kill for Boom. And right now, Palos back to farming after dying that one time. Echo Saber SMY with the shard soon. Probably gonna get the shard first to increase his farming potency. But the DP wants to fight. He is still ready to rock, you know, itching for a fight with the EXO right now, ready. It's gonna be a challenge for them to kill the Morphling. They kind of need to time their stuns along with the silence from the DP. Now she has 1 point in the silence. So they definitely have the tools to kill off Morphling. And the Orchid
he's
on
not a
Shanks.
Manta. Yeah. We can dispel one of those. Oh, and Palos.
Oh,
on in, actually. There's the first silence. The control's perfect. They apply the Maledict. Jackie is going to get up to the high ground, though. Death Ward's not going to find him. That's the Manta style difference.
He tried to stun the illusions to stun the real hero there on the Witch Doctor, but he couldn't get it in time. So Jackie escapes with his life. The tower, on the other hand, is going to take a bunch of damage here.
It is, but it's a level 1 EXO only, so they have an opportunity to defend this. Hype is ready to go as well, freshly completed by Jabs. They have Supernova, but just no real great opportunity to find a fight here.
Yeah, the pipe is going to be a huge deal. Just look at the heroes, right? Venno, Tiny, then there's the Maledict from Witch Doctor, the DP Spirit Cypher, and it doesn't block the EXO. But CK gonna get found. Tim's gets a long stun, so he should be fine. And he's building an Atos, on the CK right now. He has a null to give him some mana sustain, and he's just trying to play the map as a CK and pushing out the waves. He's so far. His job is pushing out lanes and forcing the enemy to not group up. Not the best job to delegate to a CK, but because of how badly the early game went, he's stuck at dishwashing duty right now.
Very true. Yeah, he's kind of just left to mop up the lanes where he can. He's not the worst hero at it. I mean, and you got Darks here who's able to do so pretty effectively now.
He's definitely not the worst with Phantasm. You can kind of push out waves.
Exactly. I mean, he doesn't have a single point in Chaos Strike, so it's not pushing very fast, but the illusions do, of course, some damage there.
Yeah, definitely the game is slowing down a little. Boom is going to be happier about the game slowing down compared to Execrattion. Execrattion wants to be running at them, wants to be pressuring. But they have the level 2 EXO now, with Aghanim's completed. And which talent has he gone for? So he went for the attack speed on the DP. Sometimes you see magic resist if you feel like you could get bursted at level 10, but with the traits and the attack speed, it actually synergizes really well with the Aghanims, right? So every time you right click, every time you use a spell, there'll be ghosts flying out. So you do a lot of damage with this build.
Yeah, Jackie is the one who goes for that level 10 magic resist talent. He's got that plus 15% alongside his Vlads. He's slowly but surely becoming a bit more relevant in this game. I'm not sure if he's going to love running into this many heroes. Well, actually, it's the initiation first on a CML with the boat to follow up to chase Lewis out of the fight. CML is dead.
Look at the damage from
Lewis,
Hotspot.
X-Mark and the hotspot Supernova put down on the wrong side of the fight though. Jabs, he's living a long time thanks to that pipe. Eventually he's going to go down as Tino, a victim here to the stolen toss out of Jackie. Okay. Then they go again, chasing for more. Jackie morphing back into Palos. Palos finds a 4-man avalanche though. That's pretty meaty, but he just lacks the damage. All of a sudden, boom, it looks like potentially a 1-for-5 trade. Morphling shows up to fight. Morphling shows up with this Vlad. He shows up big in this game as Jackie with an ultra kill. This could be the turning point, Winter.
Yeah, the Morphling power spike with the Manta, and also, like you mentioned, the magic resist at level 10 help him survive. I mean, Palos right at the end, I think he made the right play by turning around. He almost got 2 kills there, like just turning around to fight with the avalanche around the Rosh pit. But gotta give credit to Boom. They found the right fight. And you see the hotspot, from General on the Sunray coming into play, doing a ton of damage to DP. Probably regretting not having the magic resist talent there, because he was very close to surviving.
1,300 damage, by the way. You're about to see this DP really melt.
Sunray,
You're
look at the
right.
Sunray just melting the DP. Like he just basically died. The Sunray.
Yeah. Took close to 3,500 damage in that fight. Literally half of it from Sunray. That's how that breakdown looks for him. And then with the Witch Doctor also going down early, it means you don't have that Maledict in this fight. You already don't have the DP. All you can do is turn tail and try and run.
Yeah, good try there by Palos in the end. But it wasn't to be. And Boom find a huge fight here with Jackie getting 4 kills here. Now he is going to build into his Hurricane Pike, so he has more ways to kite around because he doesn't want to be next to the DP. Nobody wants to be next to the DP. She's just going to kill you.
Ooh, hold on, we're going to see some Twin Gate shenanigans. Oh, Sims thinks better of it.
Does he know? Like, seems like he knows something's going on.
I don't think he knows.
He's going to die. No.
Oh, maybe he was waiting for the courier. Now he's going to go through. Okay, minus 75 mana each time you do that. Okay.
Does he actually know?
Maybe he knows, honestly. He's just trying to bait him. Just look, CML's like, come on, man. Did it again? No, don't tell me. I think he knows, bro. You can't really see his face, but we can see his eyes.
Mark, Torrentor's top. He knows something's going on.
Yeah, you're right. Then she's kind of debating a little bit, and guess what? That means he can safely claim his 21-minute Wisdom Shrine. 20 seconds of just pump faking that thing. Nice job.
Yeah, game has stabilized for Boom right now. Jackie is farming uncontested. They're gonna get his Hurricane Pike in a bit, but they're deciding to smoke with the Radiance Blade Mail timing of Armel. Darkseid has a Vanguard now, Crimson on the way, so they're about to hit a couple of really big timings here on the Boom side. I mean, level 12 as well on Phoenix in a little bit, which would be very helpful in the team fights.
Definitely that level 2 egg for the damage. Zhao's been really patient on this, on the eggs. I suspect that as soon as he gets the shard online, we'll start to see some more aggressive
the shard is going to destroy. Because Sunray is the main weapon in the team fight. But he's getting... What the hell? He's actually getting... He's queuing a lens over the shot?
So that will actually buff the damage with the facet, by the way. As I recall, this is just like a damage amp. Yeah, so Sun Ray length beyond 1200 will result in more than 160% damage and healing. That's how that works.
You're talking about a lens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, like, the shot, I feel like the shot is higher impact than a lens.
I hear you.
Because you use it twice.
I hear you.
I don't really agree with this decision, but we'll see how it plays out. I mean, shot is also cheaper than Ada lens.
That's true. Build up is nice on Aether lens, but you're absolutely correct.
The slow can be useful. What, 10% slow or something? That's like slight slow on the shot.
Yes, that's correct. 10% slow. No, I think you're... I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying it does have a little bit of utility. Maybe they're hoping to really make it count.
Yeah, you know what the Aether lens actually just really gives you? Maybe that's what he values, is the cast range on your items. Maybe he wants to be able to use his vessel better. That could be a reason as well.
Yeah, some good vessel targets this game, that's for sure. And this DP is building a BKB, so that window's kind of closing here already. 500 gold away, but you're completely right.
Actually, there's a couple of camps more to clear. You get the BKB, but it's going to be a huge timing. There's no rush. They don't really want to fight into the morphing with Aegis right now. Tiny is not ready.
Yeah, and how do I wanted to ask Winter, like, how do you, if you're Execration, kind of grab control back in this game? Hold that thought, actually. I'll give you some time to think about
definitely
it.
Not by losing your carry.
Well, that would be a bad start, I reckon. But he's got a Glimmer Cape. There are supports rotating to the tier 1 tower. It looks like Boom are not as... Well, I say that, but here comes Jackie. They just wanted to fight with Jackie. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Jackie is very, very strong. He is feeling it right now. I think the Tiny against Morphing matchup, it never gets easier, for the Tiny. It just gets harder and harder, So if the game is staying stagnant right now, both sides are trading farm, I don't think you can be too happy if you're Execration. I mean, I'm not sure how the DP and Void Spirit scale against Morphing in game against their Tricore, Daxia, Morphing, and the Kanka, but I have a feeling that it's probably going to be better for Boom in the late game stages of this one here. So they're going to be happy at playing a slower pace game, trading farm, looking for kills, playing the map, going into the macro game, and now we have the Brooch on Palace, which is a very effective item against a higher armor target like Morphing, because you can bypass that with the Brooch. But at the same time, he is also very vulnerable to the Vessel and the Sunray, in the team fights without BKB. So that is what worries me a lot. And also the mischance, right? Don't forget about the mischance. You don't really get to hit much, I think, if the Phoenix is just using Sunray on you.
Right, because of the Phoenix innate, right? This blinding sun. Exactly. Those stacks build up pretty quickly, especially if you have a shard. So that's maybe another reason why you might consider that. Did that say 20 camps stacked, by the way? Is that what I just saw? It's wild. Holy moly. The recovery from Boom, I mean, that's how you get back into a game that looks tough. 3 camps stacked by a Jungle Veno, by the way. That's going to be a result of all those early wards and all that early pressure. No, for real, that's very significant. I think that's a real stat.
I mean, you don't get to stack jungle when you have a level 1 jungling Veno, yeah.
Yeah, well, true, but normally he stacks for himself, right? And that would be reflected in that stack. Careful here. Tino, okay, he's got an Acceptor. He's got that Acceptor. Needs to be careful not to get caught out there, though, by that level 10 Reality Rift fast range tower.
An easy high ground to go up on.
It's not.
Oh, this is going to be a long ride, Richie.
I think so.
It's fitting, we end the series with a long one. After all the heartbreak that we went through the last couple of days. And now we get to close it out the right way,
Right.
A fitting way.
We've had 2 45-minute games-ish, 45 and 47. And I think you're right. This one, it's going to be dramatic. It's going to be drawn out. It's like a K-drama, where they do slow motion at the end.
I was going to say something more violent, but sure. If you want to go down the K-drama route. There's a lot of crying, there's a lot of heartache, The prince shows up late, the girl leaves on a boat and she's thinking about him. And he tries to go through the dock in the last moment. The guard stops him. And he jumps down the river and he swims towards her arms. And they unite on the boat. And the show ends.
Except this one, it's more like Titanic. There's only room for one on this boat. You move on to face Talon, you know?
I mean, if Conquer gets a refresher, there'll be 2 boats.
That's true, dude. Dude, they should bring back the Ghost Fleet. Tell you what.
No, they should bring back Torrent stuff.
No, they should definitely not bring that back. That one can stay. That one can stay dead. I don't agree with that one here. But a bit of a lull. I think now we're bound to see a bit more action here, Winter. Jackie, he's about to pick up this next key item, just a few more camps, and that butterfly is online.
Well, you know what happened the last time when he got butterfly? He threw the game.
He died immediately. He died literally in the first fight by wave forming into a sonic wave and a roar.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
his team roared.
This game, he is playing into a lot of like silence, stuns, you know, from Tiny, stuns from Witch Doctor. You could die easily, you know, if you make a mistake. Without BKB.
That's true. That is true. Does he have any saves yet? Not quite. No big saves.
I mean, if you consider Pipe a save.
No, not
Sunray
really,
is a
right? I
save.
would consider like a Phoenix Ag's a save, you know? But that's not ready yet. Butterfly's about to be delivered. Will Boom consider poking the high ground here with Butterfly? They may have to just get Execration back off the map.
This is what happened last time, right? He got Butterfly, he went on the high ground and he died.
That is true, actually. That is really true.
Will Lightning strike twice, Richie?
No, because last time he was on the Radiant side and it was a bottom tier 3 siege. This time, it's the opposite way, so it's got to go right. That's science, I believe.
Science? Or the laws of probability?
Well, one of the two of those. Either way, he's not going to make the mistake this time around. He's instead going to back up and will continue in this kind of holding pattern of farming. But Execration, you can see that they were mostly forced back. The only hero still out on the map at the moment is Palos. I think he's got something on his courier, and he does. It's a full BKB ready to go. He's bought out for this one. Roshan spawns as quick as in a minute. Could be another 3 after. As we're seeing these Phantasm illusions from Tim's just being used for scouting.
Wait, who does that benefit? Okay, it probably benefits Boom, right? If he moves to the bottom side.
Yeah. It's going to spawn bottom
better for
guaranteed.
Boom.
Well, it might spawn top, but then he's basically going to walk bottom immediately.
Yeah. No, it's going to go bot. For sure. It's 40 seconds till it spawns. It's going to be bottom for sure.
Yes. Pardon me. I don't know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Completely right.
Yeah, it's difficult to do math, right? Too early for you. 4 p.m. is still too early.
Yeah, sometimes. It's a little too early for me. You know, I've only had my first coffee. Here we go, though. Execration not keen to give up this positioning, as there's the jump onto ML. Trying to force the BKB here.
Nope, no commitment. Boom, trying to back off. They're thinking about the last game where all the wave fights are haunting them.
Another silence. The wall of replica drops down. DP throws the silence from the side. We're looking at a lot of EKBs in this fight. 2 for Execration. Only 1 right now online for RML.
Almost pulling back to the high ground there on Tino. That was close, you know. Boom, very, very patient, you know. Not committing, just poking and prodding. Using their long range spells. They're way more careful this time.
Okay, Lewis with an illusion rune bottled. So he's got an additional dispel to work with, Winter. That may come in handy if they fight within the next minute and a half.
I wanna see a bait with the illusion. I don't want to see a basic dispel. Send your illusion
that'd be a move. All right. And now the DP shows top lane. Still Boom. They don't make a move into the pit.
Oh yeah, he has shot by the way.
Donwell did, by the way. He did go back for shard, as observers just keen to point out.
Some may say this is the best shot in Dota right now.
Pretty good, yeah.
There's a lot of like really good shots, and there is like kind of some really terrible ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think this Veno shard's really good too, to be honest. If Venomous Gale's dispelled it anyway, you apply a debuff piercing stun for 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, we had some pretty good ones this game, but everything is building up to this moment. Roshan has returned to Dota. And both teams are going to be wanting to pay him a visit very soon. And Roshan says he only does meetings with a first come first serve basis. And who is going to get into the booking spot right now? Who is going to make a reservation first? Lewis has an arcane rune, so he's very keen.
Yeah. I think Boom will be too. There's the BKB delivered for Jackie. That is BKB 3 of 3 for all of their cores. All 3 of them, I believe, Winter, with a 9-second BKB. Now, we are looking at a lot of physical damage still, of course, for Execrattion, so it's not a completely one fight.
Illusions.
But it'll be scary.
Let's wait with the illusions. This is the power of the CK. You run in, you scout, you get vision. Things are getting tense right now for both sides. Neither wanting to give up an inch here in this Roshan area.
Lewis, positioned in these trees, kind of tucked away. Okay, he's going to reveal himself now with the Crypt Swarm, with the Stun Stone first onto Shanks. There's the initiation. Wow, Palos immediately bursts through Tim's, but Tim's going to buy back. The back wall onto 2. They've caught Tino, but he gets out to dissemblate before he jumps back in again. He's dead instantly. He's got buyback. CML dying to the wall of replica illusions. He's got to retreat now, but with Voodoo Restoration, he'll be okay. Lewis, look at the physical damage. Gets out that exorcism here, holds on to that BKB, does not force a BKB charge out of any of these heroes, but Palos looking for the instant dieback, and he's got it. He's got it immediately down. A tidal wave, that's going to force the BKB now for Lewis. Jackie and Armel, BKB in response as Jackie running down this tiny Palos. He's going to go down. Tino doing as much damage as he can, but CML's down, and Jackie, he's killing them all. Tino, what can you do off of the buyback, my friend? It looks like not a whole lot as Jackie pumps him full of lead. An ultra kill for the Morphling. The patience pays off here for Boom. They will be rewarded at least with Roshan and a very firm foothold in game number 3.
Yeah, that is one of the best team fights I've seen from Boom yesterday and today, for sure. They baited really well with the CK. He had buyback. He was ready to die twice for the team. And once they kind of took the initial fight, I think they backed off a little bit together to kind of disengage and pull them into a corner. That's when the Egg and Sunray came out and Jackie stood his ground with the BKB and killed them all, you know. I think that was really, really well done by Boom. Dragging the fight away, you know, from the initial engagement and forcing the enemy into a disadvantageous terrain, you know, position. Here you see teams going in. He knows he has buyback. They jumped in. They kill him. He buys back. Morphing is standing his ground. There's a decent vacuum by Jabs there, pulling them into the wall. Morphing, unfortunately, there with the Gale Guard doesn't finish off CML, and the mech kind of saves him. But here they were really disciplined. They backed off together. They retreated towards the high ground here. You see they're running back. They don't overcommit here. They run back. They see the Exo pop. But CK kind of dies again, so he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But they all back off together, and the Egg here defensively placed with the Sunray kind of turned everything around. It means that they can't touch the Morphing here with the heals. And yeah, I mean, once Palos dies, it means the fight is going to be over, you know, for Execration. So Boom, well executed team fight, and deservingly in control of this deciding game, you know, of who gets to go forward and face Talon in the final match.
This is getting tense now for Execration. Yesterday, they demolished TFG with this kind of jungle Veno strat, in control of all the game. Winter, you were especially wowed by that game. This time, though, Boom, with the counter plays, play it patient, slow roll them a little bit here to get all their items online, and look how that's paid off here for Jack. He's doing so much. What is he? 8-0-3 at the moment. He's showed up to 2 fights and he's gotten 8 kills. That is, wow. Giga Chad carry behavior right there.
And he is in fact the strongest hero in the game. So his team has given him so much space, you know. Eventually you have to utilize the space and repay the faith your team has placed on you. Be that solid, reliable carry.
And at this stage, there's so much to back you up as well, right? All the Darkseer auras, the Shard level
Sunray,
2.
I think Sunray is an important one here, backing him up. Because it not only protects him, but if the Tiny is standing in front there, he's going to die to the Sunray.
Gonna miss.
And
they miss those auto tests. They just don't hit Egg very well, do they? This team, a toss back though. Jackie, Manta style. The back wall. It catches 4 heroes, but CML letting loose on the Death Ward. It's still not enough damage. And now with the Crimson Guard, the auras, the Sunray Supernova, Lewis, he can do nothing. He's gonna go down. The Supernova's gonna pop. That's Shanks as well, as Jackie just jumps the backliners. He's deleted 3 heroes. He will lose that Aegis Winter, but it's a 2 versus 5. What hope do they have? They don't have any tier 2s.
Yeah, the sun is unfortunately setting on the Execrattion side. Hope is going away, you know, like the light leaving the Radiant side right now. I mean, they see this Morphling, they click on him, he still has BKB. What do you actually do on the Morphling?
Still has Satanic. You saw BKB on Darks here. They have been so restrained on the BKB usages. Boom Esports absolutely locking in here in game 3, and now they know there is no buybacks. The Glyph of Fortification is out. You have no Death Prophet for 30 seconds. There's going to be a toss back trying to make a play. Nice setup there into the Aether Remnant. They get a silence with Morphling. He is not scared of you. Forces the BKB out from Palos as the supporting staff. They will respawn. 15 seconds to try and hold, but Megas, they are inevitable. Boom. What will they do now? It's a vacuum onto 3 heroes and the tidal wave into the boat. CML, he is still alive here somehow thanks to the Voodoo Switch True, but Jackie now picks up a triple. Tino cannot stand his ground. They try and fight for the Megas. They try and fight for a way back into this game. But the hope, it's leaving here for Execration. Boom Esports locking in for game 3, and they will not be leaving the high ground. Not without destroying this Ancient. Here we go, jabs BKB. Lewis, he makes the jump into the vacuum, into the torrent. Lewis is actually still alive here, but how can they possibly win the fight, Winter? It's impossible. Jackie is godlike. Jackie will be sending Execration out of the